recording. Mic check. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4.
You for the first time.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. Audio test. Good morning to our attendees who are here with us in the board hearing room. Good morning, city staff, executives, commissioners, bureau reps. And good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do see a number of hands raised. I'm going to go ahead and ask you to unmute, identify yourself for the record in which item you'd like to speak on, or record your information, and then I'll call upon you when we reach your item.
Yes, children's voices matter. I would like public comment, please.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm going to go, I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand.
Okay.
Georgina, good morning.
Good morning, TJ. Happy Monday to you. I want to speak general comments and on the minutes, please.
Thank you, Georgina. Happy Monday to you too. I have you down for public comment and speaking on the minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand. Audit LA, good morning.
Good morning, TJ and Commissioner Grant over there. I am going to speak on public comment and all items, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and multiple agenda item commentary.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute and lower your hand.
Okay.
Good morning once again to our city staff, executives, commissioners, city attorney who are here joining us in the board hearing room. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do see an additional hand raised this morning. Laura FM, would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Yes, please, public comment and all items.
Very well. I will mark you down for public comment and multiple agenda item commentary.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. It is now 9:57. We should get started with the board meeting in approximately 3 minutes. Thank you. So I can go ahead and put this into record mode. And we are now in record mode and ready to begin, President Kang.
All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Mr. Knight, please take roll and establish quorum.
Thank you, President Kang. Good morning, President Kang, Vice President Chavez, President Pro Tem Grant, Commissioner Mitchell, and Commissioner Cardenas are present. We do have a quorum. We are also joined by City Attorney Representative Thomas Costello Vega. I'm Assistant Executive Officer TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Kang, we have no one in the hearing room, and we have 4 public commenters, 1 single item comment, and 1 multiple agenda item comment on the virtual platform. We've received no neighborhood council commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. We will get started with general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. Testimony shall be limited in content to subject matters which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works. The board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. We do not have any in-person speakers, so we will transition to our virtual platform.
Very well, thank you, President Kang. We'll start with Children's Voices Matter, followed by Georgina. Children's Voices Matter. Please unmute, and you'll have 60 seconds to offer your commentary.
Thank you. Greetings all. Approximately 10 to 15 years ago, an anonymous Scientologist man who had been sent to punishment reindoctrination camp was forced against his will to do renovation work, along with 200 or so other Scientologists, probably including minors, at the Scientology Blue Building, aka Pack Base, 6th floor. There were not enough tools or safety gear provided. Several people were tearing a wall apart and pulling at the framing when a copper pipe dislodged and went straight into his left eye. He lost his eye, on hospital record, and then was coerced to lie to OSHA agent, allegedly. Rest in peace, Philip Gale. Thank you. I yield back my time.
And we'll move next to Georgina, followed by Audit LA.
Thank you, TJ. Yeah, I also want to speak out against Scientology, the abuses they do to their slave labor force. They call in these people, they pull in these people from overseas, they take away their passports, they hold them captive, they make them work sometimes 16-hour days. They don't pay them for this slave labor, but it's a chance for people to escape terrors of their own in their own country, or they're lied to and told they're going to get the American dream, and this is the dream they end up with. They end up in servitude, working 16-hour days, 6 days a week. Oh, Sunday, yay, they get half a day off. They only have to work 8 hours on Sunday so they can spend time doing their laundry and shopping that they need for the week with what pittance they're awarded. It needs to be investigated. You need to not allow them to work on public streets without OSHA. And
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll move next to Audit LA, followed by Laura FM.
Good morning, commissioners and TJ. Yes, I'm going to just keep talking what I've been talking about. I'm going to break it down real basic. An organization that cannot follow the rules ever should not be allowed to continue to get what they want. I do appreciate that we don't have the endless, permits that we used to. I thank you for that. But there's so much more to go. They do not abide by their revocable permit. They act as if it's a street vacation. It is not. They chase away the public, which is illegal. They are guarding the street and sidewalks without a contract from the city. And everything they're doing is putting the city at liability. It really is. They're not allowed to do this. And the only way to get them to stop is to enforce your own rules, which is not happening. You are not giving them the amount of permits that they want. Okay, that's step one. But the step two is to enforce what they are not abiding by, and then revoking anything that does
Thank
not
you.
line.
Thank you, Audit LA. That's 60 seconds. And we'll move next to Laura FM.
Good morning, board. I'm going to also say that you guys have to stop giving Scientology any permits. It feels like the people calling in, the public, the civilians that have issues and that were either born and raised in the cult of Scientology, or they themselves have some interest in helping people who were born and raised in the cult of Scientology as children and had no other rights in the world to be able to come in and we do our investigations. We're looking into paperwork and city things that you guys could be doing. And I don't know if you guys have been doing it, but there are people that have violated the permits. They are Jennifer Kroskin or Kirsten Peterson or Susanna whatever. All these people are indentured slaves, and they're on your paperwork. They're in your emails. They're the ones literally making all this happen, and you guys just approve it. There's somebody on the Public Work Board that is approving these permits and is unacceptable. We are doing more of the investigation than you guys are. This
Thank
is
you.
your job.
Thank you, Laura. That's 60 seconds. President King, there is an additional hand raised on the virtual platform.
Yes, please.
Caller ending in 880. Would you like to offer public comment this morning?
Hi, I just want to reiterate what everybody is saying. You need to stop giving them permits. You're complicit with allowing the mistreatment and abuse in your city. It's very embarrassing to add this other thing to be embarrassed about. You know, Los Angeles is already being made fun of, and this is another thing to add to the list. And you need to stand up to it and say no to the permits until they start obeying by the laws like everybody else does. Bye.
And that concludes public commentary this morning, President King.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the general public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public Wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to a minute per item, up to a total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. We do not have any in-person speakers, so we will transition to our virtual platform.
Thank you, President Kang. For multiple agenda item comment, we have Audit LA, followed by Laura FM. Audit LA, please unmute, and you'll have 3 minutes stop for your commentary. Please identify which item you're speaking on.
Good morning. I'm going to start with number 3. About the water mitigation. Like you do need to do that, and we have to do it. But Laura and I came before I forget what meeting it was, but it had to do with the same kind of thing, water mitigation. And Commissioner Chavez, because we got there late, we didn't know where to find it. She was kind enough to agree and vote to let us speak, even though we had just missed public comment. So I still appreciate you for that, Commissioner Chavez. But we also brought in a lot of information about this same kind of water mitigation. About Scientology had dumped 100,000 gallons of water on one side of their building to get rid of. At the time, there was the different protesters that were there, and it ruined the soil. It shifted the entire sidewalk. That's what broke the sidewalk. It was a little bit bad before then, but since then, it's been continuously, like, really seriously bad. And it's starting to go around the whole building. Like, you can see that something has shifted. And we did come in person to talk about that. And so I'm hoping that when you're doing this kind of water mitigation, that you would please take that seriously as well, to at least investigate. I mean, I'm not a professional soil person. I could be, mistaken, but I see the damage. I can't even, I got stuck on their, like my chair got stuck on their ground, like several months after the water event. So it's still, it's something going on. So please, when you're doing this one, please look into that one as well. It's on the fountain side of Big Blue. As far as number 1, okay, here we go with budgets going up, and but it's don't get me wrong, I love libraries. We need libraries. They're really important. But right now, what's critical is infrastructure for the games, the Olympics that are coming, and sidewalks. And like every time they have a sidewalk thing, it's like a minimal amount of money going towards a sidewalk. And and this may seem minimal. I know it's not even, it's not that, much money, but all this increase for stuff that's could wait. Like, like, I don't know how urgent it is that this, project at a library has to be dealt with, but I know that the streets are urgent. The sidewalks are urgent. And I just wish you guys would not, maybe why increase the budget? To say, no, you have to live within your means, because we really need to focus on streets and sidewalks. It just seems like any entity can just come and say, oh, we need more money, we need more money. And it's always granted. We don't have it like that in the city. We can't just pull money off trees, although, maybe the city can, I don't know, but that's just not reality. We need to prioritize. We need to get tougher. I appreciate that you do ask tougher questions, but it's always followed by a yes vote. And that's another
Thank you,
thing, like I work.
That's 3 minutes. We'll move next to Laura FM. And you'll have 3 minutes to stop for your commentary. Please identify which item you're speaking on.
I'm going to also, I'm going to speak on number 3, but also the minutes. And I want to attach myself also with what Audit was saying about the water and everything, because that's a huge thing. One time not one time, but one time we were registering how much water they were using that created those cracks on the sidewalk around the blue buildings, around on Fountain, right in front of the blue buildings, in between Catalina and soon to be North Berendo Street. So they used the water to get water all over the protesters or the tents that were being built or the tables that were being set up, and they let the water run overnight during the summer. So this is obviously something that isn't being measured out. There's nobody going and checking out what Why do we let a cult of Scientology get away with certain measures and not being able to monitor their water? Because they don't care. They'll just pay for it. They got cult money. They could just pay for it. They have indentured slave children money. They could just pay for it. They cover up auditing crimes with adults. That's their money. They have this money that they sneak out of people, insist out of adults and younger people in their Scientology families so that they can cover up all of this. So if they are late on a permit, they get the late fee, no problem. Scientology money. Scientology kills, and you guys are allowing this. When we have protesters going out on the sidewalks, we don't expect to be getting sprayed by water or overspill of water through other planters because they're not happy that people are exposing these crimes. There's many ways they're doing this. So if you could have somebody please not only investigate what you guys are doing, measuring the waters on number 3, but also do that for the Blue Building and Scientology who are over using the water and not reporting it. That's one. And the minutes, please, if you could again have everybody who's calling in and are going through hell trying to take down this cult for it to be on the record. Please send somebody on the record to the Blue Building to investigate all of these different things, measure the water usage, see who's doing the work, who's fixing the pipes and the water things. Literally, there's people doing it right now. I'm a block away from the Blue Building right now, and there are Sea Org members literally fixing the pipes. This is a city job, not an indentured slave organization job. And then at the same time, you're getting all these Sea Org member indentured slaves requesting these permits and approvals from you guys when you know it is not fair. They don't need permits. They don't need permits for anything. They can do their crimes on their own property. Stop allowing this to infiltrate over into public works where there's no investigations, there's no control over how much water, electricity, who's doing the work
Thank you.
on the
That's
city.
3 minutes. And we do have one single item commenter that we can take next, and that is Georgina. You indicated that you wish to offer commentary on the minutes this morning.
Yes, and I do have a note on the water reclamation issue too.
Go ahead. You have 2 minutes to offer your commentary on the 2 items.
Thank you. As for the minutes, I'm really excited to see what you guys do to utilize Granicus. It's a great potential for you to showcase and have it accessible, these public comments, so people can see what was reported to you. People can see a collection of the testimonies we've given. Your YouTube page, it's great that you have it. I won't deny that. But every title going back years, so that's hundreds of meetings, thousands of meetings that take place, and they all have the exact same title. How is that accessible? How can anyone research anything? Everything has the exact same title. If you at least put the date in the title, from now forward, I don't expect you to retroactively do it because I do realize that's a lot of work. But if you, from this date forward, put the date in the title, it would make those things accessible to people. And that would be a big step in the right direction. For the water reclamation, I just want to quickly say that I saw that they had the water running for over 24 hours. It was the end of June during a water recession period. They had the water running 48 hours. It was spilling into the sidewalk, spilling down the gutter, spilling into the street. And I know in Los Angeles and in all of Southern California, water spilling into the gutter is a finable offense. Water running for that long during certain time periods is a finable offense. I called and complained to the city. I know several other people called and complained. Neighbors called and complained, and nothing was done. Nothing's ever done. When is something going to be done? Thank you. I yield back my time.
Thank you, President King. That concludes multiple and single item commentary this morning.
Thank you very much. With that, we will close the multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting and move forward with the approval of minutes for Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing no other discussion, is there a first and a second?
So move. Second.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioner Cardenas.
Thank you, President King. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of minutes, starting with you, President King.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. and Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and the minutes are approved unanimous.
Thank you very much. Moving forward on our agenda items, number 1 from the Bureau of Engineering for Council District 10, a revised TOS number 17-065A.
Good morning, Mr. President, Commissioners, and Bureau heads. I'm Mike Mulhern with the Bureau of Engineering's Geotechnical Engineering Division. This site is in Koreatown. It's south of Wilshire at about 7th and Oxford Street. It's a library where a parking structure is going to be put underground and a pocket park constructed. It's a small and sensitive site, so it took a lot of engineering, and it takes a lot of inspection during shoring and excavations and so on. And that's required by both the grading division at the Building and Safety, and also because we're in a methane zone, both Building and Safety and the fire department require a full-time methane inspector whenever the foundation is being protected with the various membranes and so on. Unfortunately, coupled with the rainy season, which put back some of the construction work, some of the excavation required extra time. And also the methane design was changed because the materials that were originally specified by Terra Petra were not available once the contractor got out there, so they had to do a slight redesign of the methane mitigation system. And also, as I mentioned, we have to have a methane expert out there the whole time that the foundation is being built so that we can get the final sign-off from Building and Safety. So these factors all added about $70,000 or so to the total project. The only other issue was they're a little low on the, well, they're a lot low on the MBE participation because it's hard to get geotechnical observation and testing services with an MBE. And also the Terra Petra, the methane design, which is a large percent of the work, they're only SBE, EBE. Are there any questions?
Thank you very much. Commissioner Cardenas.
Thank you. Just wanted a clarification. You mentioned building and safety. I thought BCA inspected all of the city property locations, and building and safety did private property.
When there's shoring involved next to structures, as this is, and if there's also methane involved, building and safety does get involved in addition to BCA. BCA is more looking for quantities, costs, things like that, whereas building and safety is looking for safety factors.
Wow.
So we have to deal with them both.
Good to know. Didn't know that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a follow-up. I know this area is problematic given the methane pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Is the Bureau anticipating any other delays related to methane issues in the future?
No, actually the methane levels that we found were fairly low. So we're just using what's called a passive system, which is a membrane and vents. We don't have to have an active fan system or anything. So we don't anticipate any other oil or gas seeps in that area, even though it is common in the general area. But we didn't see any during our exploration work.
And is the project completion date still, excuse me, March of 2027?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Any other comments or questions, commissioners? Seeing none, I'll move. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 1, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell and Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 1 is approved, adopted, subject to conditions, and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 2 in Council District 13, revised construction budget and construction order for Joke Heavy Construction.
Yes, again, well, you know who I am. This is where a slope has partially failed. It was a gunite slope from the 1960s, and it about 40 feet high and 170 feet long section became distressed and cracked, and it shifted down towards another building. So it became an emergency. What we did, instead of re-gunite it, we improved the slope protection by putting in high strength steel mesh wire and erosion control matting. And this is stronger, it'll last longer, it's not graffitiable, and also it'll look more natural as plants can kind of grow through it. So it's basically like a heavy duty chain link fence, and it's held in place by long soil nails, long rods drilled in and grouted into the slope face. So it should be stronger long term. On September 25th, 2025, the board president was informed of the damage and approved an initial budget authority of $500,000. That's to get things moving, get the contractor to order the supplies and everything. We are being paid or funded by the Department of Rec and Parks because it's Rec and Parks property. They have a park fees fund, and they've provided $2,910,637. Two bids were received at the board, and Jilk was the low bidder at $2.3 million, basically. So we have a little cushion. So we're asking for a total not to exceed authority plus contingency of $2.9 million. Are there any questions on this project?
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
So move. Second.
First by President Pro Tem Grant, seconded by Commissioners Mitchell and Cardenas.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll take a roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 2 is adopted, subject to conditions, and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 3 in Council District 11, revised TOS number 00121, ACOM.
This is one of our underground tank soil and groundwater remediation projects where the tanks have leaked in the past. The tanks have been removed, and we've been conducting a bioventing soil remediation project for a few years on this site. The good news is we're basically finished. We were granted case closure by the Regional Water Quality Control Board. So the $156,000 increase is to demobilize the system, remove the blower and the control materials, take out any visible piping, and then grout any subsurface piping, and then provide a final report to the regional board so we get everything signed and sealed. That's basically it. We were a little low on MBE because Martini Drilling, which we've used in the past, was not available for this TOS at this time. And also, I just wanted to thank the board for your support of these underground tank remediation projects in the past, that we do get case closures periodically. It seems like, we go a number of years on some of these, but we do get case closure. We've studied over 250 sites. This was one of the last 5, so now we only have 4, so we're getting there. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer that.
Thank you very much. Glad to hear that this is coming to a good ending. With that, any comments or questions, Commissioners? Seeing none, is there a first and a second?
Second.
First by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 3, starting with you, President Kang.
Aye.
Vice President Chavez.
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant.
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. And Commissioner Cardenas.
Aye.
All ayes, and item 3 is adopted, subject to conditions, and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Knight, I believe that concludes our items for today.
Yes, that is correct, President Kang.
Our next meeting will be on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026. The regular meeting is now adjourned at 10:25 a.m. We'll pick it right back up for management at 10:30 and bureau heads at 11:30. Thank you very much.